Not only do the brake pads of your e-bike's disc brakes wear out over time, but you should also regularly check the brake disc itself and replace it if necessary. In this video, I'll explain how to do that and when it's necessary. The brakes on your e-bike are among the most important components when it comes to safety. That's why you should always keep an eye on your brake rotors during routine maintenance on your e-bike. Over time, the material wears down, and in the worst case, if the rotor becomes too thin, it can fail or even break. That's why you'll usually find a specification for the minimum thickness on all brake discs. If the minimum thickness is reached or already below the specification, the rotor must be replaced. Of course, the same applies if you detect any damage or cracks. When choosing a brake disc, there are just a few things you need to pay attention to. First of all, make sure the diameter matches your current brake. You'll find this information printed on the disc itself and in the shop. There are also two mounting systems. First, 6-bolt discs are mounted with 6 screws, or there are Centerlock discs, which are attached to the wheel hub using a splined interface. Third, you should also pay attention to the thickness so that it matches your brake and the construction type. Lastly, you may need a brake disc with a sensor magnet for the speed sensor of your e-bike, especially for the rear brake. Once you have the right brake disc ready, you can go ahead and replace it. To do this, first remove the wheel and secure the brake pistons with the safety plates. For the 6-bolt version, you now loosen the 6 bolts from the brake disc. For Centerlock discs, you will need a suitable Centerlock tool. This is either a bottom bracket tool or a cassette remover. Once you have loosened the bolts, you can install the new disc in reverse order. Make sure to pay attention to the correct rotational direction. You will also find this printed on the disc itself. Also, please avoid touching the braking surface directly to prevent unnecessary contamination of the disc. You can now secure the new disc using the 6 bolts or the Centerlock ring. For 6-bolt discs, start by tightening all the bolts by hand, then tighten them in a crisscross pattern with 2 to 6 Newton meters. The appropriate torque specifications should be included with the disc itself. For the Centerlock version, you can apply a higher amount of torque. For our disc, Shimano specifies 40 Newton meters. Next, before you reinstall the wheel, I recommend resetting the brake pistons. You can do this either carefully with a plastic tire lever, or if you want to be extra sure, with a specialized brake piston reset tool like this one here. To do this, first open up the reservoir located on your lever. On some specific bike models, due to their unique construction, you may find it necessary to remove the brake caliper entirely in order to properly insert the tool into, or rather between the pistons, and gently push them back into place. Any excess brake fluid that remains after closing the reservoir can simply be wiped away with a bit of water. Before you reinstall the wheel, carefully clean the disc with isopropanol to make absolutely sure there is no dirt or grease left on the surface. Finally, you can now reinstall the wheel back into the frame and enjoy your ride with a brand new fresh brake disc. If it becomes necessary, you may need to realign and recenter the brake caliper if you find that the disc is now rubbing. I will show you exactly how to do that in this other video about changing your brake pads. To finish things off, I have one more helpful tip for you. If you happen to have a Centerlock disc brake mount on your bike, you can easily convert it to a 6-bolt mount using a simple adapter. There are various adapters available that make this possible without any trouble. You can of course find this adapter, all the pods and suitable brake discs in our shop as well. Feel free to check it out. Now, also feel free to leave a comment if this video helped you or if you still have any questions. By subscribing to our channel, you also support us, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon.